Hey dude, how's it going? Wonder how audio's sounding. I think Ryan's the only one in the stream yet. No, two viewers. Oh, two, including me. Let's see. See if we can get a couple other people to show up. I've been messing around in OBS. Added a couple things. You feel special? Oh, you are special, dude. You came up. You helped me come up with the theme. Let's see. Let's see if anybody else shows up here. Give me a few minutes before we start messing with stuff. I printed off the I'll show you. Vision. I printed off the this plate here and part of the base plate just to see how things lined up. Yeah, I don't know that panel do splash screen thing. I don't. It seems so counterintuitive, um, because it requires a 24-bit bitmap, but at that size, 24-bit bitmap, it's always going to be just shy of a meg. I mean, it doesn't matter how much color or if it's a flat white or even clear. Bitmaps are just how bitmaps store all their data. All the data is stored at every single pixel, I guess. So no matter what color or what pattern is in it, if it's a certain like a certain bitness at a certain size, it's always going to be that just shy of a meg for what Shane needs. I feel like there's got to be a way to use a different file format, but and it may just be because of the screen size he chose. Maybe if he had chosen a smaller screen size, um, for other people that maybe actually want to watch this stream, which we'll see. What Ryan's talking about is when you're in rep firmware, the panel do has you can do a boot screen, but it's what we could find is very specific requirements for using. You have to use a bitmap. It has to be the right size. It has to be 24-bit, and it has to be less than a certain kV. Well, those things don't add up to working. Anyway, so here's the little test piece I printed for. Switch back. Here's the test piece I printed for the I/O panel. I just shrink it down the opening by just a half a millimeter. Other than that, the measurements we did were good. It snaps in nice without feeling like it's bending it. So got the measurements right on that one. And then I also printed off the just part of the back plate just to make sure it lined up. Holes are good. And then I took some measurements this way and then up and down for the placement of the I/O panel relative to this, and we were pretty close. I had to push this out a little bit and down just a tiny little bit. I did that ahead of time though, just to get it lined up. It wasn't anything. I just basically just moved it. The difference that I measured, I just did a real world measure, so nothing, no rocket science there. But this is how it sits here, is how it needs to stay. So we'll figure out what we're going to do there. So I need to actually probably need to do this as a rigid. Probably should actually set these as a rigid group. That way I don't accidentally move it. So let's just do as-built joint, rigid. Actually, I want to change this. That way I can come back and find the joint in the future. As-built joint, that. Actually not doing that. Those two, as-built joint. Oh, it's because for components. Components. That's not going to work then because, well, actually, you know what? Let's test it out. If I select this component and do an as-built joint and say rigid, because it's not letting me select anything else. What we need to do, I think we actually do have to do a rigid group there. Symbol. No, it won't because it's, yeah, we'll just ignore it. So there's something to think about when you're organizing and doing groups of stuff, which I should have remembered. Rigid groups, as-built joints, and all that stuff are only between components, not bodies. So these two bodies, you cannot create a joint or a group or anything like that between, because that only works on components. So these will eventually, well, I don't know what eventually will happen with these. Most likely they probably will stay separate panels. We'll probably break this out into components once we get more designed. Because this isn't something we'd want to be able to have to print. I'm thinking what we're going to want to do is get the cage built, and then figure out how this will be a back panel and this will be a panel we mount inside. This time around, I did a little pre-planning. I didn't just want to come into this one without any idea like before. So I did kind of whip this up. This is not the exact shape I want. I did this just to kind of get an idea for what to do and how we might want to organize stuff. I do think this is how I want the side panels to look. I like this look for the sides. The back panel, it's a waste, just because it limits with these angles, it limits where we can place it. If I chop out these angles, we can move this whole thing down, which gives us more room up top. And that's just because of the clearance for the opening. So this will probably, well, when we make it, I'm not going to have all the cool little angles for the back. This will probably just be square or very minor little chamfers. The front is probably going to be fairly similar to this, except that we're going to make it look like Shockwave. So, shape for that is pretty much the shape I used for the thumbnail for the video. So we're gonna pretty much go with, I think I like this one best. The one I'm looking at on a different screen. I'm going to show you in a moment. And by looking at it on a different screen, I mean looking at it in the wrong place. Sorry. There we go. That one. That's kind of the shape we're going to go for on the front. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is, I think we're going to do some lofts here. I want to kind of keep the outside shape with this this shape here with the flat edges. And I think we'll make a little, what do you call it? Just a little, the cover for the front. It's probably going to stick out a little bit, but we're going to make it come down to this shape with the more just kind of triangle type sides. So we'll loft to this shape off of this shape. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Do you know when the next Warp segment? It just aired. So season 2 just got done. It went. They put it out on the 30th of December, and it was awesome. So they did War for Cybertron. The first one was Siege. This one was Earthrise. It was pretty cool. And if you haven't watched it, I won't talk about it. But it ends in a pretty cool spot. I think the season 3 comes out in May. That's what you're asking. Did you watch season 2? Let's see. So, what I'm going to do, I think, on this is I think I'm actually going to start. I'm going to start with the back panel because it's going to be about this size. So the other reason I did this is I want to kind of figure out what size and kind of where this guy was going to fit inside here. So I'm gonna, but I like the overall dimensions of this. Nice, you did watch it. Cool. Serious delay there. I don't know how bad the delay is on YouTube right now, but yeah, it was cool. I like how it ended with the Dinobot for the Beast Wars. I'm surprised they're going to do Beast Wars stuff in that. That's really surprising. Pretty cool, but that was kind of a weird offshoot oddity for Transformers, even though it was a really well done show. It's too bad that they're doing Dinobot, not Dinobots, because I'd much rather see Grimlock than Dinobot, but whatever. I digress. So anyway, we're going to start with the back. We're just going to make a square panel here, or a square frame. But I think these outside dimensions are about what we're going to go with. So let me remind myself what they are. 210, I think it was 210 by 80 or 90. 210 by 90. Cool. So that's what we're going to start with. Did I do it longer than I did the top square? So 200 deep. So yeah, so it's got to be a little bit wider than it does deep. So I'm going to just kind of keep this up as a reference point. It's not going to look like this. This is really generic. I mean, this is kind of just, I wanted to do this to kind of get an idea on kind of how I wanted to walk through creating the actual one, or at least one that I hope is closer. We've got a few parts we can throw in there, like this 120 mil fan. I'd like to be able to put this on top. 120 mil fan on top should easily take care of all the cooling needs for this thing. I mean, it's got a proc fan, obviously, but by plopping this guy on top, it's not gonna. There's nothing we're gonna have to worry about, and we can vent out the sides and even probably vent out the front, depending on how we design it. Oh yeah, and the other thing on the front's gonna have is the power button, the red power button, right in the middle for the eyeball. So anyway, let's get to it. Somebody who just showed up. Somebody else showed up. No. I see 3 current viewers. So let's see. Do we want to do some dimensions? I think I'm gonna do I want to do some. I always forget what they're called. Parameters, but I want to do them on the fly. It's easier. So let's start with a component here. We're just going to call this, I'm going to call it cage. Do a quick save here so it lets us import stuff. So one thing to know, you can pull in other models. We're going to pull in the frame, the ITX motherboard mount. We're going to pull it in, but until you save the project, you can't pull in other projects. Projects, that's the word I was looking for. So let's just call this one ITX frame. Cool. So we got our cage. Let's do a sketch. I'm going to start with the back. Do that. it's always nice to keep things, if you can keep your origin completely centered on the model. It's kind of nice for being able to do mirrors. It's kind of hard though when you're working front to back. So I'm just going to start with the back and work forward. So we'll do this. Do a rectangle that is, so the height is 90. So I'm going to say height. Did I spell that right? I spell height. H-I-G-H-T. There we go. Equals 90. So that actually creates a parameter. Same down here. Call this width equals 210. So that's, should be a little bit. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thanks. Yeah, it should be a yellow power button, but they're, you know, depending on the cartoon, sometimes the eyes are red. A lot of times they do all the Decepticon eyes red, just so you know they're bad, and then the Autobots will be green, blue, whatever. But yeah, to make it accurate, it should be a yellow button, but I've got a red one. Close enough. So the cool thing about doing those parameters on the fly like that is you can go in and find them, and there they are. I mean, you can always go and make these ahead of time. What's up, Viking? How's it going, brother? I was just kind of showing off some parameter stuff to get started. I was saying, you know, you can always go in and create parameters in the beginning. User parameters, you can create as many as you want here and name what you want. Or you can do them on the fly like I did, and it puts it inside this sketch in this hierarchy if you go and look at your parameters. But you can still reference these anytime in the sketch. So that's what we're going to do. Kind of saves you from having to go in there. So now if we were to do, just to show you, just do another rectangle, do the dimension, I can say, if I can remember how to type it, height, so it knows it's there. I'm not going to do that because we don't need that other rectangle. Actually, yeah, no. Although now that I've done this, I am going to change it a little bit. I don't want, it doesn't matter. Because this isn't, I'm going to have to create some planes for doing like mirrors and stuff. I'm not going to worry about keeping this dead nut center. I'm just going to build this first sketch and get going. Oh, nice. That's right. You're printing a Voron. Good man. Good man. So we are going to double click this, do an offset. I know I want that to be 10. To show you, Viking, this is kind of the overall size and style we're going for. It's not going to look exactly like this. I just did this to kind of give myself an idea on where things are going to be placed. We're going to do these chamfers and stuff are going to look different front to back. Sides will probably pretty much look the same though. So we're going to see how to build it. The back is going to just be squared off for the most part, just to make this fit better. Always a good question, Ryan. Colors in Voron are important. So let's see. I think I'm going to start. Yeah, let's just do this. We're going to extrude this 10 just to get our initial frame. And then we are going to do another sketch here. Right click sketch. Just going to do a couple of quick rectangles here to get the frame posts, just to get this moving. And I'm not going to go crazy with this yet. I'm just going to extrude this out. Oh, actually, I'm going to do that. Well, I'm just going to do 50 for now. We'll worry about the where it attaches later. Yeah. Building it as we go. Only a rough plan, that's all. Just a rough plan. Red and black. Oh, come on, dude. Red and black looks good, but that's what everybody does. It does look really good, though. PETG should be fine for most of those parts. They designed it, I mean, they did design it with ABS in mind, the Voron. But realistically, the PETG points are going to be just fine. Let's see. Oh, what's Ryan posting? Oh, is that your serial request, Ryan? Yeah, you and your 2.4. I'm a little jealous. The blue and black looks really tight, though. Yeah, I would have totally done a 2.4. I definitely like the idea of it. I had so many of the parts to build. You see it? This guy on hand because I tore down that other big Core XY I had that was garbage. So all I had to buy to build the 1.8 was the frame and just some little odds and ends. Not a whole lot more than that. Mostly the frame. What we got here. All right. So anyway, back to this guy. So there's this. Since we're here, let's go ahead and get this pulled in. I'm going to rename this. This is not the case. This is just we're going to call it mount. That's really all it is. We're going to add insert into current design. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You cannot do that until you've saved your project. I have messed that one up plenty of times. Sat there trying to insert another project and just not been able to figure out why I couldn't. So where do we want this? I want to bring this. Let's say okay. Right click and do a rigid group on this just so I don't pull anything around. I want to align this and this. And then this is where we're going to start kind of eyeballing stuff. Choose head colors. Oh, well, that makes sense. But I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You can do rainbow right now. If you are going to eventually reprint it in something other than PETG, yeah, orange and black. I'm a fan of orange and black on just about everything. And not because of Prusa. I don't have any Prusas. I just like orange and black. Prusa Viking Prusa. Let's see. So let's see. Let's look back at the other one. And I was futzing around with this, trying to figure out where it needed to go. I think just because there's extra space over here, I'm actually going to move it. I have it jogged over to the side just to get it fit in this particular model, which is not what we're going to do because these angles get in the way. So I'm actually going to pull it back this way over to this side, which will give us more space on this side for a drive or two. So let's move this. I'm thinking pretty far over. We just need to leave space. Actually, what we should do is let's align this. No. Let's align this here. So that should be okay. And then the up and down. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, orange and black looks awesome. And it's been driven into me because when I in high school, my high school colors were orange and black. Then I went to college, at university, orange and black. So yeah, I'm just pretty much orange and black for life. Hence all the orange and black on the geared stuff. And the printer. Orion packs, I don't know, man. That'd be like that's almost like a dig. Like if I would say that'd be a great name for an Ender 3, Orion Pax, because he was weak. And then he got turned into Prime. So Ender 3, weak. Oh, you're a Broncos fan. Go Raiders. I'm definitely a Raiders fan. I've been a Raiders fan for life. I was 3 or 4 years old and I had a dude running around with a Marcus Allen jersey because he's the best. And since it's my stream, can't argue. All right, so I think for this piece we're going to leave it like this for now. I don't want to lock this in because I don't really know how the rest of the pieces are going to flow. This gives us a pretty close idea. It gives us lots of room over here. We can easily get a drive or two side by side there with some mounting hardware. So we're going to call this good for the back. The key now is to do the front. So I am going to, and this is where it gets tricky. That's all right. There's not a whole lot of us Raiders fans, although the fan base is growing a little bit. So let's just do an offset plane. I think that's going to be the quickest way to get us where we want to go. Let's do an offset plane at negative, what did we say, 200? Looks about right. Let's measure. I think the front to back on this is pretty good. We don't need a whole lot of space behind the front panel. How do I ban Aaron? Go Vikings. Well, yeah, big surprise. Let's see. 200, cool. So let's make our front panel on this. We're going to see, where's our origin? Do we want to pull? Let's just pull in that point, do a rectangle between the two, and then start drawing some stuff. And this is where we get to be a little creative, which is going to be fun. Well, let's go with my first idea, which was Ender 3 Orion Pax, Ender 3 Switchwire Optimus. Yeah, the Switchwire is definitely going to be the Ming to D2 that Shane's going to send me. He's fed up with that thing and done with it, and I don't blame him. That hot end's garbage. So he asked me if I wanted it. I said, hell yeah. There'll be some good content for the channel. So once this is done, hopefully we can get that thing shipped mid-year. And project after this little guy will be, if all goes according to plan, the next project's going to be designing a Switchwire upgrade for a Ming to D2. So we'll see. I think it's got some good potential. It's got it's got a good sturdy frame. The base is that big metal chunk. That's going to be interesting for mounting stuff too and keeping it sturdy from underneath. But we'll see. It's going to make for a whole bunch of videos because first thing we're going to need to do is kind of get the actual printer itself modeled up a little bit because so far I have not been able to find any Ming to D2 models out there. If you guys come across one, let me know. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm following sport. Yeah, I'm not following sports either. They're Viking. Just a little bit, just not that much this year. So anyway, for the front, I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to pretty much copy this and then do a loft to the a shockwave pointier face style. It'll kind of shrink it down, but the thing I'm worried about is That loft may make this seem too long, so we're gonna go for it. See what happens. See how it looks. Pardon me, real quick. I need to look at something here. We got. Sorry. Cool. Just looking at schedule and stuff I got going today. So yeah, well, let's do this front, kind of copy what we did before and see how it goes, and just see if we can make this look cool. So let's do another offset. Since it's a front frame, we don't need to go with a full. It's not structural. Let's just do like 5 millimeters, -5. And then at this point, I'm just drawing to see how things look, because I don't know what I'm doing specifically. We're just winging it. What did that go perpendicular to? I didn't want that. This angle needs to be done first. So 45. Distance that. Let's call it 20. That looks good. Now I can do these other lines. I can make that distant. No. Do that. Make it the same. And then we can make, now we can make it perpendicular to that. And I could mirror this, but it's only 4 and I'm lazy, and really, why does it matter? And this one is parallel to that one. This one's parallel to that one. This is equal to this, and this is equal to this. There we go. Now we're all constrained. Also, we need to do, how thick do we want this? Let's start up here. This is where it comes down to just kind of playing around, trying to find what looks good. Let's make that. Nope. Go. I don't even know what I made parallel there. Still looks good. Parallel. Oh, oops. Redo the line, please. There we go. Parallel, parallel. Distance. It's going to be, I'll just call it 10 so we have some meat there. Oh, it's right on the, oh, because math, it's right on the corner. Cool. Let's make a couple more of these. So let's do that equal to that. That equal to that. That equal to that, because I get sick of seeing all those constraint icons. That's parallel. That's parallel. That's parallel, and needs to be. Oh, screw you. Coincident. You and you. Cool. What's chat doing? I'll be up as long as Chiefs. Yeah, seriously. Oh yes, Scripe and Libsibes. Scripe and subscribe, Scripe and Liblib. Smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for the reminder, Ryan. All right, let's extract this, or extrude this, and see how it looks. Let's go back 10, because that's going to help us from the side. feel like I did that completely wrong. We're going to do this for now. And let's connect it. So we're going to extrude that, that. Oh, and I've been working in the wrong component this whole time. So let's see, is that going to mess up our bodies? Of course it is. That's okay, we can just join. So since there's a good little lesson learned right there. This whole time I had the frame active when I wanted the cage active. So I made that body and all those sketches in under this. Not too big of a deal, but we can move them. So we are going to combine this. Nope. We want to select this one because that's where we want the body to end up. And we're going to combine it with this guy. Join. I'm not going to keep tools. We're not doing a new component. Cool. There we go. So now there's no bodies under the frame, but the sketch is still there. So we'll have to remember our face sketches right there. If we have to go back and edit anything, we'll try not to. So, but we do want to turn that on because we're going to bevel some edges. Let's do that first. Let's create some, I'm jumping around, guys. That's kind of just, I'm a little ADD and it comes, that's how half this stuff works out when I'm designing this stuff, especially kind of the base features. What I'm going to do now, instead of focusing on the front, I'm going to get the beveled corners on the edges because I do want to keep this shape for the sides. I like that shape. I want to keep that. So I'm going to create this, basically that shape for the sides. Real quick though, that's 20, and it doesn't matter. So I think this was 20. So that's why I did the other beveled at 20 millimeters. I'm going to keep that here. And then the distance between those two, I believe, is still 10. So that's what dictates the size of this. So back over here, we're going to do a sketch. And we're in the right component now. So we are going to distance this to 20. And we're going to, nope, we're going to angle that at 45. At 45. Typing is hard. 45, cool. And a few more of those. And I probably could have made a parameter for some of this stuff, but we're not doing so many things over and over and over that it really matters. To this equal to this equal to this, and this equal to this. The only reason I did it a circle like that is because I get sick of seeing so many constraint icons all in one feature. And then we're going to pair that, and that, and that. The reason that one I let it auto constrain to a perpendicular, so we didn't have to fix that one. And then we're going to do another line here. It's going to be parallel. We're not going to actually extrude these out. What we're going to do is we're going to use a 3D sketch to extrude out the corners. So hopefully that works out. 3D sketches are fun. All right, so parallel. I already did that one, this one to that, this to this. Distance here is 10. 10. So remember, you can always click on another dimension to pull it in. That way, if you make a change to that one dimension, it changes all of them. So if I decide I want that to be more than 10, Boom, changes all of them. All right, so I'm going to extrude these to there, join them, gets our shape. We're going to go back to that sketch and turn it on because I want to extrude these again on the other side. So we are going to go, our start is going to be from an object, and our distance is going to be to an object, which is going to be right there. So there we use one sketch to do two extrudes on two different planes, basically. That's nifty. Glad you like that one. That's one, I'm sure I learned that from Tallis or Christensen or something. Okay. Top and bottom. Let's do the same thing. Why not? It'll look good. That gives us the sides. I think the top and bottom is going to be good with having a similar panel shape. At least that's what we're going to do for now. You can always come back and change it. So that did a perpendicular constraint. Nice. If I actually take the time to watch that, I can get these kind of pre-constrained. You see the there in the middle, that perpendicular constraint's coming up, and it's showing you what it's perpendicular to with a little, where is it? It pops up over on the, I'm pointing at my screen. The line to the left highlights with the perpendicular constraint that the automatic constraint is showing you. So that's what we're constrained to. So distance, this guy at 20, just like the other ones. Then we need to make this equal to this equal to this, and this equal to this. And then we need to do an angle. 45. All right, same thing, extrude these. Get that panel. Oh, took me a second, man. I forgot for the for your case. No, not quite yet. Good enough. Did you play around at all with doing the what am I trying to say? Doing the mounts? I think that's gonna be the hardest part. For you to replace that. I still think you should cut up the one you've got. I don't think it's going to matter, and honestly, you're going to go back to it. I say just take the Dremel to it, do a nice cut. You can always bolt it back onto the original panel if you wanted to. I don't think there's that much structure there. All right, so I just noticed we probably should have made this frame 10 millimeters all the way around to avoid this. So we've got this crap hanging out. One thing I could do, turn off that sketch. One thing we could do is delete these faces and it'll heal it up. But I wonder if that's going to come back to bite us in the future. Let's see here. We've got, the reason I think that is because, let's see, that panel is, that's 5 millimeters. Over here, what it is, I inset these panels, or I inset this mounting flange here to be able to mount the panels to it, and I inset it 4 millimeters. Because I was kind of hoping to do panels that were like just 2 or 3 mil panels, so it left a little bit of an inset there to give it some depth. Not a lot of structure, just a wee bit. Yeah. But once you attach it to a rigid front panel, you're going to gain the structure of that front panel that you're building. And it also comes down to me being really lazy. Like, I personally wouldn't want to design that those mounting brackets and all that stuff. Like, it'd be cool to see it done, and I would absolutely love to see you do it and see how it turns out and hope that it would work great. Probably would. I'm just super lazy. Like, I feel like I'd rather just grab my cutoff wheel and use what's there. Spend more time designing something cool looking for the front. That's just me. So I think, gosh darn it, I'm not sure how I want to do this. I'm thinking we may need to make this thicker so we have more meat to mount to. So I would like to have the flange go all the way around. I guess I don't need to. Well, let's... What do you guys think? Let's finish doing the top and bottom. Sketch. Let's extrude. Nope. I don't know what I hit there. What does R do? R took me into the sketch. Oh, rectangle. When you go to make a rectangle, it creates a sketch. Extrude. E for extrude. Oh yeah, resin would be sick. You want to buy the resin printer to do it. Let's go from object, which is here, to object, which is here. Okay. So man, I'm torn on this one. I think I am going to make this thicker. I think it's going to look better. And it'll let us make a smaller little front piece. So let's go back to this sketch. And I want this offset right here to be -10. What all is that going to mess up? Did everything come with us? I think everything came out the way we want it now. Finish sketch. Yeah, let's do that. It just looks better. 2 errors deleting face. Yeah. Oh, so it gave me an error for deleting faces that no longer can be deleted, which is fine. So now what we're going to do is trim these corners. Let's try to do that pretty quick here. And to do that, we are going to turn on this sketch because it's got one of the lines we want to trim. So we want to trim to that line equally all the way around this. So we don't want this sketch. What we're going to do is create a sketch here. Now we can still see the other sketch we have turned on, but I'm going to make this a 3D sketch. So what that's going to let me do is pull in that line, except we need to highlight this. No, actually, we may not even need to worry about it. We do a line. Oh, here we go. So we want a line on this panel. It goes from here to here. This is where 3D sketches get really tough. You got to make sure you're keeping stuff where it needs to be. So I just put that in the wrong spot. So we can do a coincident for that on that line. Nope. Let's undo that. I think I messed that up. Let's do a line. Nope. 3D sketching is tough. From there to there. All right, that's on the right plane. Then we're going to do another line that goes from there to there. Okay. What's up, Naim? We are fighting 3D sketches right now. 3D sketches are always just a pain in the butt. That needs to be equal to that, and that made it constrained. So now that we have that, I'm just going to extrude. Well, I'm going to long press the left mouse button. That'll give me all the things that are in line with where my mouse was. I want that profile because it was hidden behind other faces. I'm going to pull that out to cut it. So there is my cool little beveled edge. So let's turn that nightmare of a sketch off. All right, and for that, now we're going to do a, let's see here. You know what? I need to turn that sketch back on. Because I need to give myself a pivot point. Because we're going to do a revolve. So let's do edit sketch. Let's do a line. Come on. In the middle of that, where is our midpoint? Right there. A line from there to there. And then we're going to do another line on the midpoint here on that. Good enough. So that just gives us a pivot point off that sketch. It's off the middle of this particular geometry. So let's turn that back off. We're going to highlight that face. We are going to do a circular pattern of faces. We have that face selected. Our axis is going to be that guy, and we want 4 of them. And hey, good, it worked. That other cool, thanks, man. Oh, so to show you, Niam, since you just jumped in, this is kind of a rough one I created a couple days ago. It's the same all the way around, which we're not going to do on the final case. This was just to get an idea of kind of size, how things would fit in there, and what may or may not look good as far as beveled edges and stuff like that. We're not going to do these edges on the back because it gives us more room to the edge for the panel, and you're not going to see it anyway. The sides, though, will look like this. I really like the look for the sides. The front is going to have shockwave face for the front, so it's going to look like this. That's going to be the shape-ish. We're not going to do the little top nugget, but we are going to do the eyeball for the power button. It'll be red. And I was talking to Ryan the other day. I could do Wi-Fi antennas for his antenna on the sides, but it's going to be sitting right next to a router. I'm just going to hardwire it. I'm not going to use the Wi-Fi on this thing. Anyway, that's kind of a rough goal of what we're shooting for. So we've got our top. So now what I'm going to do is turn that off finally. We're going to construct a midplane between the top and the bottom. And then we are going to do a mirror. Wait a minute. We didn't want those on the back. Let's edit the feature. So cool thing you can do with a revolve, or a circular pattern, I should say, is once you have what you want out there, you can actually uncheck the ones you don't want it. You can just exclude those. So let's do that. So now we don't have those in the back. We are going to select both of those faces, do a mirror. Get the faces selected on this plane. Sup, Brandon? And there we go. So there's the face. Whoops. Click happy there. Facing the sides. We're gonna have to do something to make this look better. I don't know what yet, but we'll worry about that some other time. I just want to get the front and the sides, the general shape. because we're not going to go a whole lot longer today with this one. Let's turn off this construction plane. So I do want to try to do a quick loft to see what we can do for the front. Brandon always showing up right at the end. We'll go for a little while longer, but not a whole lot longer. I have a bathroom to refinish today. So what I'm going to do is do an offset plane for another sketch on this. Just so we can kind of figure out how thick we want a cover piece. And I don't want to go crazy with this because I want to keep this small. But I also need to give myself enough space to loft. So 15... How do we want to do it? Let's start with that. But we also need to create a sketch to loft from. So I don't want to go all the way to the edge of this. So this is kind of where things get hokey. So let's, how do we want to do it? We're going to do this in a there's probably a way more elegant way to do this, but I'm going to create a sketch here. We don't want a 3D sketch anymore. So look at it. So it's flat. We're going to go here. We're going to do an offset. We are going to make that, let's just do 10, because this, we want to give this something to sit on. I'm going to extrude this. -3, and we are going to do that from an offset plane of -4, I think. We're going to start with that and see what happens. All right, and then we're going to turn this plane back on and do a sketch here. And this is where I'm glad I left this in the center. So I'm going to do a rectangle, R for rectangle. I'm going to come over and do a center rectangle. And this is where we're going to kind of figure out what his face is going to look like. I think we're probably going to keep it about the same height. So yeah, that would look cool on the sides. You got to remember, though, I'm trying not to go too crazy with the looks on this. The front is what people are going to see, but this is also sitting in a shelf in my garage next to some printers. So I'm trying to keep the complexity of it relatively low. We can do a big, cool LED fan on top. But yeah, plexiglass on the side. I may just cheap out and grab some chloroplast, because it's super cheap. I've also got some plexi sitting around, and I may have some left over from doing the doors and top in plexiglass for the Voron. So not sure what we're going to do on the sides. I do think that I'm going to do something other than printed sides. Maybe. Don't know yet, Brandon. We are shooting from the hip here. We're going with what might look cool. Screen door screen. It's cheap. Let's see here. I think I want to do. Let's see. I do want to pull in this line right here, because I want the distance from here to here. I don't want a huge slope on the top and bottom. Let's do that for now. Let's make this 100, because numbers. And then the big one is going to be this, because this is kind of the face, shape of his face. We need to make this point perpendicular with the midpoint. And to do this, you can hold down Shift, and with your Shift key held down, you can actually select the midpoint of another line, whereas normally it just wants to go to points that are already shown or drawn. If you hold down Shift, it's going to give you the midpoint to go perpendicular with. Then we are going to make this and this equal. By doing those two lines equal and having the midpoint, everything's going to stay equal. So no matter what I do with this, they're going to be the same. So I'm going to pull in that line to give us a reference point. Get one of these, what do we got? I have that toy. Or I have that toy. My kid has that toy. I don't even remember where we got it. Oh, it came with a little tear open package where you don't know what you're getting. We do have one of those. Good call. I'm not showing you guys what Ryan showed me. This guy. The little, I figured they're about 30 mil, 30, 40 mil tall. Cool little toy. We could definitely put that on there because we have one. Although my son might get a little upset if I just take his shockwave toy. All right, so we've got this pulled in. We are going to dimension this to this. We are going to dimension this to that. There we go. And that one I want to slope in more, so I'm actually going to leave it at 15. That's too much. Going to do 10. And then we're going to do an offset. Oh, that's right. We can't do that. We're going to do this. We have to hold down Control to get the outside edge. We're going to do an offset of just 5 millimeters. Nope, not even that. Let's just... This is one of those situations where everything in Fusion is bigger than it looks bigger than it actually will be, because I'm zoomed in on this. This is actually going to be closer to that big. And again, for you guys, it doesn't matter because your screen's probably different size than mine. Things look bigger in Fusion than they are. But 5 mil... Or, I don't know, we'll go with that. So there's our two sketches. In theory, let's see what happens here. I was going to loft this outside edge to this, but that doesn't make sense because I need a panel in there to loft to. So let's make a panel. So first we're going to extrude, let's finish our sketch. I'm going to extrude this. Let's just do 3 millimeters. And we want that to be a new body. We'll make this a component later. Okay. And then we're going to turn, let's see, turn that sketch on. Problem is we can't do that because, okay, we need to do a new, because I suck at lofts, just flat out. I always get them wrong, but it's easiest that I've found to loft from a sketch to a sketch. So we're going to create a new sketch on that. There's our geometry. We're just going to hit finish sketch. So now we actually have something to loft from and to. So we've got both of those sketches shown. Let's see what happens. Again, this is just a nut job idea. It may end up looking like crap. So we're going to go from here to here, here, and here. What does that give us? And this is going to be me showing you guys how bad I am at loft. Profile 2. So that made some weird stuff. Let's do it this way then. I'm going to pre-select these guys. Then I'm going to say loft. And I want that to loft to here. Does it matter which side I select it from? I want that bad. No, this is going to show you what I am bad at. And I guarantee you, I am bad at lofts. It's one of those things that just I am not good with. I don't use them enough, and I should, which is why I'm trying to do it here. So let's go from there. I don't even know if it matters if I decide to choose. Oh, hey. No, nothing at all. What we got? Centerline rails. So I didn't loft that, and I didn't like that. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm trying to do here. Turn that off. I definitely don't want that. What am I missing? Connected direction? Do I want to go direction on both of these? I never lived in a loft. I haven't either. I am definitely showing you how bad I am at lofts right now. Let's see. So that's obviously not what we want. Or is it? Oh, slow down there, Turbo. All right, let's think about this. Maybe we can do it in sections. Let's give it a try. So let's use this sketch. Let's turn this one off for now. Let's edit this. So I am just going to do some random lines here that are going to kind of coincide with the lines on that other sketch. Let's make that. We'll dimension this the same. I don't know if it matters, because I don't know how to do a loft. Clearly. All right, finish sketch. So what I'm hoping, again, I'm just spitballing on this one. These, if I could loft from here to here, and maybe save myself some grief. Aha, that looks a little better. Then I can go from here to here. Maybe? Nope. Let's not get greedy. And this might not even look good on the edge. So let's actually... Let's turn that off so we can see what we're doing. Hit OK. So what does that look like? That looks like crap. That looks like smoking hot garbage. Not even close to what we wanted. Jeez. All right, let's edit that. What can we do here? See, when it draws it, this looks good. Like these loft points look exactly what I want. Can I move these around? Like I would love it for this to do that. Like that would be the exact shape I want right there. I don't care about the inside. So if I say OK to that, Cool. I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time right there. 100%. Knew what I was doing. That's what I meant to do. I can't believe that worked. All right, so dang, that was cool. Let's do a quick midplane between there and there. Let's mirror this feature on this plane. Let's turn this off. Sweet. God, I totally knew what I was doing the whole time. Like, I don't know why you guys... Why did you even doubt me? Why did you even doubt me? So now, let's see if we can do it again. This should be an easier loft, but you know, hey, see what happens. Loft, where are you? There you go. So from there to there, how does that look? That one ought to be easier. Does everything line up on the inside? Looks cool to me. And since I'm scared of the loft tool, I'm going to mirror that. Yes, I'm scared. So create mirror of that feature on that plane. Okay, turn that off. Holy crap. It's like I knew what I was doing. Does that even look cool, or does that just look stupid? Let's make it look better. Favorites. What a shocker. I have purple as a favorite. Let's see. Let's just do blue for now, just to get some contrast. No, that looks terrible. Let's not do that. Let's do that just so we can see what's going on. It looks a little dumb. Like, I don't love it. Let's look at good old Soundwave. I don't know. Can you go to the actual edges? Do you mean like not have it snake in like that, like actually keep it like full size? Or do you mean to the edges out here, like to the far edges of the actual, what am I trying to say, the outside edges of the whole case? Yeah. Sorry, dude. I said too many questions and the delay sucks. Yeah, what? In the meantime, I'm going to extrude this back. We're just going to go -3 mil. And we're going to join that. What that's going to do is give us... That's not right. So obviously our loft wasn't perfect. Oh, the inside edges. I need to fix those. Shoot. Because those inside edges aren't even. That's not gonna work. To the outside edge. Yeah, I think that may be better, or at least maybe out to like just leave a little bit of a lip. Maybe we'll do that. Let's see. I guess to do that might be easier. What we could do for that is, instead of having this inset, you could bring that out and then just... Yeah, let's do that. Let's back up and do that, because honestly, this is going to have to get redone anyway. This looks too much like a body part we're not going to talk about. Haha. Let's roll this back. Yeah. We want that. That sketch. All right, let's just start rolling this back to about there. Yeah, because we want to edit. Yeah, let's see. Let's just get rid of those features. We're going to do them again. I do kind of, let's see. I do want that sketch right there, though. Is that this sketch? Yeah, cool. Let's delete this. Okay, so this right here, we're going to edit that feature. And we are going to do from there. There we go, so it's flat. Which sketch was that? Is that that one? No, that's okay. We want that still. Why is it complaining? Who cares? Complain away. Probably. No, that's fine. I have no idea why that is complaining all of a sudden. Maybe because I pulled it. Oh, I know why. It's because I pulled in geometry from the sketch from before. That's okay. It knows it's there. We don't have to worry about it. Let's create a sketch here. Do that. We're going to offset that. Just, I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. I want to leave it just like a couple mil just to give it some looks. 53, -3. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? And then we're going to do, because you can't, that's one thing I wish you could do in Fusion. You cannot offset an offset. Gives you an error. So we're going to offset this again. So, yeah, -8. Perfect. So there's our sketch we're going to loft from, at least for now. So let's try that again. All right, we're going to do this loft, and then I think we're going to call it after that. Oh. Let's see. Because we got stuff to do. We don't want this one to go too long today. Anyway, so let's turn this back. And oh no, I forgot a spot. Forgot to do those cool little the little extra lines to make our loft work. Come on. I'm still in the sketch. Am I? What just happened? Sorry, guys. What is going on? Fusion is tweaking. There we go. There's the sketch we want. Just to make these nice and even. Doing vertical constraints. Did we get that right? I did not. Vertical constraint. Come on. You and you. Has to be a point, not a line. There we go. Which means these didn't go vertical. Just like in Top Gun. Distance. For you kids, Top Gun is a movie from the 80s. All right, now we got what we want. finish that. Turn this on. Do a loft from here to here. No. Here. Go in and fix these little guys to look like this. Why is it doing this? Put that there. That to go there. And then we need to fix the internal geometry. No. Wait a minute. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, we can just do a new body. Then we'll be okay. There we go. So our internal geometry. Turn this off so we can see what we're doing. That up to there. This down to here. I think. Why is it not letting me snap? I'm trying to get this line to snap to there, but it's not. Did this one not? Whoa, what is going on? As long as it's the same, we're going to be okay. I think that should be fine. Before it... That's why. Why do we have extra dimensions? Oh, I'm using the wrong ones. I'm using the wrong dimensions here. Should you just plug fusion in the brain? Yeah, right? Seriously. Exactly, Ryan. I don't know why these aren't snapping to where they are supposed to. Very confusing. So I'm trying to get these points here to... You know what a better idea might be? Let's extrude this out just a bit. Let's just say 1 millimeter. Is that even going to help though? Because it's this internal geometry for the loft that's giving me grief here. The external geometry is fine. It lets me... I don't want to do that though. Shoot. So what I'm running into here is that the snap points aren't really working for the geometry. On the outside, it works just great. Like I can snap to these points. I can get that to look just the way I want it. On the inside here, I cannot get this to snap to anything. Maybe I just need to do it like I did the inside. So it cuts a hole in it, which we don't want. Oh, there we go. We just need to... It was making it too thin. So let's just cut everything to there, including this. Hey, that is what we want. That is perfect. We can fix that extrude that we did earlier after the fact. Cool. Smart. Get drunk. No, don't get drunk, kids. I mean, if you want to. Forgot to fix this guy. And that guy. That guy. That is how we want it to look, I think. Cool. Turn on. Oh, good. We don't need that because we didn't want it. Turn that on, that on. Turn off the stupid sketch. Let's... Okay, where's our planes here? We want that plane. Oh, we got rid of our mirror plane. Construct mid-plane between there and there. Okay. We're gonna create a mirror of a feature that happens to be that feature on that plane. Want to make sure we don't join that. Then we are going to bring up our sketches again. We're going to loft from here to here. I'm going to turn off that body. We do want it to join there. Those are funky little geometry looking here. Where is this coming from? So we've got a line here, but not over here. Why is that? Lofts are hard. Where is that coming from? That doesn't make sense. So we have that bit of geometry, but we don't over, or do we? No, 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 no. Don't do that, Aaron. That was a very bad idea. Okay. Loft to here. I think it's okay. I think it'll just kind of disappear once we're done. Everything else looks fine. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, we're good. Cool. Then we're going to do one more mirror. This feature on that point. No, come on. I'm going to mirror that object on this plane. Say okay. We're good. Turn off this stuff. Turn on the body. Turn off our sketches. That looks way better. Good call, Ryan. Infinity mirror. Way too much work. Cool idea. All right, so that is actually kind of what I was going for the front. We still need to make a panel on the inside. Got to make our side panels. We got a lot more to do. But that kind of actually killed my brain right there. I think we actually got it looking even. We could probably go in here and clean up some of these little things, like all this garbage. We don't need that or that. We delete it. Cool. Delete that. That. That looks good. Same up top. Go to the inside. We want it to be as simple as we can. Get out of the way. That's what we're looking for. And it looks even all the way around. Cool. So that's what we're going for. It is 4 o'clock my time. I've got some stuff. Changes color. All right, last thing. Ryan will change his color. What color do you want it to be? You want it to be green? You want it to be black? Something else? Orange? That looks dumb. That looks dumb. That looks okay. That looks Decepticon-y. We'll go with that for now. Cool. So I think I'm actually going to call that done for now, for today. That was, you know, a fair amount done on the frame. We got a basic structure here. That loft was a nightmare. That's why I don't like lofts. But it ended up looking pretty cool. So let's go here. Back to me. So I added the front part. Yeah, it's the front part. Isn't that what we were talking about? Talking about this guy here. Yeah. Yeah. I like the blue. Blue and purple. Dark. For the most part, Shockwave's got that kind of dark blue color. But anyway, I'm going to call it there. Flip back over to just me. Wanted to show you guys, I added this right here. Little new camera fund. I'm sick of using my phone. Well, it works pretty good for doing videos. It sucks to set up, and I can't use my phone if I need to while I'm on a stream. I think I'd like to upgrade to a slightly better camera. I don't know what yet. I put $300 up there. Maybe it's something to work towards. You'll notice there's also a big zero. If anybody feels like giving me a couple bucks, there's a link it's a StreamYard donation, because I only have a few subscribers, so there's no way I can do super chat, which is fine because super chat takes away too much money. I know I'm small. I'd love to make this channel look a little bit better. So if somebody wants to give me a couple bucks towards the camera, that's where it's going to go. With that, there's only a couple people watching. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. This definitely wasn't the most exciting stream. We kind of fumbled around a lot. But you know, we were doing lofts, which I'm frankly no good at. Boring to watch. Maybe you learned something. I know I did. I've never done that complex of a loft before on anything, so we made it work, and it turned out pretty cool. With that, thanks for watching, guys. Ryan, thanks as always. You stuck around the whole time, and thanks for moderating. Brandon, are you still on? Hope so. Hopefully a few people stuck around. Nope, just Ryan. Cool. Oh, well, Ryan, you're a stud. Have a good one, guys, and for anybody watching this in the future, hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.